Hey, welcome back to P10 Services. In today's video, I am reviewing my car toolkit. This is just something that I keep in the back of the van in case I ever need tools. This is not meant to be I can repair anything that breaks down on the car, more just so that I've got some tools with me in case there's something, I'm at somebody's house and they don't have tools and something would come in handy. So this is not meant to be hey, I can do everything kind of kit. Going through it, this is also a kit that I have built over time and is not, it's often kind of been overflow tools from other things that I don't use in my regular bag and thought it would be good to have in the car and will fit in this space. So first, I've got this bag. This is actually a very recent acquisition for me, a little bit of an upgrade over the previous bag. This is actually designed to go on like a bicycle, and it comes with hooks and stuff or straps to attach it to handlebars, but I find that it works really well in the back of the car. It's got weatherproof covering on the zippers, not that it sees a lot of weather, but I like the feel of it. It's durable. I'm not afraid that it's going to get sliced up or punctured very easily. Some nice high contrast in there. So I like this. It was a work, every once in a while they say, hey, we appreciate you working for us. So here is a pool of things that you can pick from. That was the thing that I picked. So, but I really liked it. I think they sell on Amazon. I know they sell on Amazon. I want to say it's like 30 bucks, but I'll link to it in the description as well as everything else in case you're interested in picking up anything in here. Next, I keep one of these in each of our cars, and it's good to have some extra batteries. This is just an inexpensive headlamp. Picked up a set from Costco, but having light when it's dark is very useful. If I'm ever at a neighbor's house and they need to move something and we're outside at night, that has come in very useful in those times. Moving down, I've got some scissors here. These are Engineers electrician scissors, so they've got the teeth in here. They're sturdy, they're strong. The only reason that they're here instead of in my main bag is I have Fiskars ones that are spring-loaded and have a bigger space for the handles. These only accommodate a couple of fingers, so they work well in a pinch, which is great for this bag. They're compact, they're sturdy, but they're not something that I want to use a lot over and over. So that's those. Moving forward, this is a little Klein pocket screwdriver. It's got the little spinning end on it and some precision bits that are in there, so you can slide it forward so it doesn't stab through your pocket. But a couple of bits, you can flip it around and get better reach that way. But that's just for a little bit of, if I need to do something precision, if I'm working on glasses or something, it's nice to have that handy. Moving forward from there, this used to be my everyday carry knife. This is a Kershaw and with an Emerson blade, and it's been a great little knife over time, but I ultimately switched to using this Gerber. I mostly use this for cutting open boxes, but this has a reversible bit in here, and this has been my daily driver for the last few years. This one also has scissors, and it used to be on the previous model that there wasn't really a locking mechanism to hold it in place. So if you're using the screwdriver, this would potentially, if you're trying to put enough force so that it doesn't cam out, it would potentially fold on you. But this actually has a mechanism now where it's not like a liner lock or something where you have to push it to move, but it will sit a lot more securely. So I definitely like that. Not part of the car kit, but definitely a tool I use a lot since it's in my pocket. Here I have some lock picks and some turning tools. So I'm an amateur lock picker. Thank you, Lock Picking Lawyer, for getting me started on that. These are actually from his little, probably not little, his store, and it's useful to have some picking options in certain situations. Of course, keep it legal, but they've come in handy once or twice. This is something I picked up after watching a video on Morgan's Maintenance. It's a 1/4-inch driver, basically an Allen key, but you can have it so this will take a socket, and depending on how far in you push it, it can wobble a little bit. I like the idea of it. I have yet to use it though, so I don't know if this will stay in the kit. But again, I wasn't using it in my main one, so I threw it over in this kit, and we'll see if it comes into play or if I ultimately don't keep it around. These diagonal cutters were inherited. They've definitely seen a lot of use, but I've used them a couple of times. The cable on the sliding door in the van has gone bad, and the only way to close it when it's all jammed up has been to cut the cable. So it takes a bit of clamping down on your hand to get through the cable, but it will get the job, and then we can manually shut the door if that ever happens again. I don't want to be in a situation where we can't close the door. Moving forward, some Knipex. These are the mini Cobras, so great, big range, small package. These are great quality. These, I wanted to have more of a needle nose style pliers to get at something smaller if I needed to, so these are the ones that I picked up. So we've got that there, and then got the twin grips. These are the small Knipex ones, so again, just to have something that I can grab onto a screw head and work through pulling in. And speaking of car kits, that is the van pulling in that you might be hearing behind me, and then again, the small Knipex pliers wrench here. These are great for grabbing fasteners where I don't want to mar them up because of the parallel jaws, and because they're small, they fit in the package. So that's it for kind of this front row. Moving forward, this is just a mini pen. This I actually picked up from Amazon. I'm part of the Vine program, where basically you leave reviews and or you can order things. You still have to pay taxes on it like it's income, but you can try out products for pretty inexpensive that way. So this is one of the EDC kind of pens that I picked up from there, and I actually like it quite a bit. So I'll link out to that. Gerber dime, so if I need some very small pliers. This is again overflow from a previous kit, and it's good to have a few different tools in there. I don't use this one as much, especially because of what I've got on my pocket knife, but it is a good little multi-tool. This is just a small hammer, as you can see. It's good to have something. This mostly sees use for like Home Depot projects when we do that once a month with the kids, but it's good to have something to hammer with, and a hammer is the right tool for that application. Here I've got, these are my SAE and metric sockets. These were a Christmas gift a few years back, and I didn't end up using them in my main kit, so again, I just threw them in there with some little canvas bags, or these aren't canvas, but little drawstring pouches to keep them grouped together, so I can just take one out and see if I'm looking at metric or SAE. And these, I've thought about getting rails and things, but the flexibility of having it in a pouch where they can shift around and fit in the pockets is actually pretty useful. So I think I'll stick with this. Little hand ratchet, again, 1/4 inch. Everything here is 1/4 inch. We've got the Icon ratchet, and this can be an extension or T-handle, and it's got some bits in there. So lots of bit versatility here besides what this little stubby comes with, which has a couple of options, but then I've got larger bits too, not just the precision ones. These I picked up after watching, you might guess, a tool review video. I think it was Last Best Tool. I like the idea of it. I haven't found use for them, but they don't take up much space, so I'm going to keep them in the kit. I don't know if I would ultimately decide on one of these or the other. Honestly, I might stick with this hand ratchet just because the quickness and convenience, but I don't know, the rapid turning that you can get with using this like a screwdriver, there's something to be said for that. So that's it for the tools. The last thing is going to be just to put them away. And just one note, this hammer I don't actually keep in the kit. There's a little area in the side of the car where I throw this, and I will just put this next to the bag because it doesn't fit well inside. But we'll go ahead and, because of course I'm doing this on camera and everything is going to fumble, speech, you're going to say the wrong thing and kind of bumble around, or maybe that's just me because I'm new to it, but I keep one of these on either side. I'm sure that there's a better way to organize everything so that it will be just so, but since this is rattling around in the car and doesn't get used all the time, it is not something that I'm going to stress out about too much, even though I am a big fan of organization. In fact, I do some professional organization on the side for something like this, and this actually stays out next to the hammer as well in that kit, but there we go. So a couple of loose things, so I can grab these on the fly if I need. Otherwise, everything is in this pouch. It's solid, it's heavy, but provides some good utility. So hopefully you found that interesting. I appreciate the watch, and I'll see you in the next one.